Hello, we are back for another lesson. We are on 6.1 part 2, operations on functions, and today we're going to focus on what are called compositions, or the composition of functions. Now, composition is a new operation for functions besides adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. It doesn't really take place in any context other than functions, function arithmetic. So it's brand new and it's really only used here. So, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, they have symbols that represent those words. The symbol for composition is a small letter O. The O is read as the word of. Don't confuse it with times. Times is a dot. Composition is a letter O. So, what looks like fog here is f of g of x. Excuse me. So it's f of g of x. In contrast, if you were given this, which looks like golf, that would be g of f of x. So you're plugging one function into another function. And it's always the second one that goes into the first. The second one into the first. You substitute the second function into the first, then simplify. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. It wouldn't be me if I didn't sneeze during a lesson. Oh, I hate that. Okay, so if that's not clear at all, if you don't follow a word I just said, hopefully as I go through the examples, you'll pick up on it. As usual, I'll do the evens. You please do the odds. The directions say, perform the indicated operations. The only operation on this worksheet is composition. You see the little O in each one of these problems. And how many are there? 12, 14, 18. So it looks like, 16 total. So that's only 8 homework problems. Wow. All right, so number 2. Find g of h of t. So this is g of h of t. So this second function gets plugged into the first function. This can be hard to keep track of. I've known students to struggle at this. So here's what I suggest. Write down the first function first. 3t plus 3. But instead of 3t plus 3, like that, I want you to write it down this way. 3 parentheses plus 3. Right? So write the first function down first, but instead of the variable, just do parentheses. Inside of those parentheses, I got all sorts of marks going on. Oop, didn't mean to do that. All sorts of marks going on up here. Inside of those parentheses, I want you to copy the second function, negative t minus 4. That's composition. Man, I keep saying competition. Plug the second function into the first function. Now, if I check this, will it be the answer? No, you can still simplify this. So distribute the 3, you get negative 3t minus 12 plus 3. And then the minus 12 plus 3 go together, you get negative 3t minus 9. But that should be the result for number 2. Let's see. Right there, negative 3t minus 9. And that's pretty much it. It's just the rest is, how difficult can this get? Well, most of them stay around the same level of difficulty, and then we throw one in there that's kind of a pain to have to do. All right, number 4. So f of g of a is f of g of a. So we need to plug this second function into the first function. So just like I did before, write the first function down, but instead of the a, put parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I want you to write that second function, negative a squared plus 2. Once you've done that, it's just a matter of simplifying. That can be distributive property, negative 2a squared plus 4 minus 2. It could also include combining like terms like this, negative 2a squared minus 2. Once you've simplified completely, that ought to be your answer. Let's check number 4. Negative 2a squared plus 2. Is that what I have? I have negative 2a squared minus 2. That's because I made a mistake. Plus 4 minus 2 is positive 2. Yeah. Number 6. Again, f of g of a. F of g of a. You're going to write the first function down first. 3a minus 4. But again, I'm sounding like a broken record here. I'm repeating the same thing over and over because I want it to sound clear, consistent, something that you can follow. So 3a minus 4 is 3 parentheses minus 4. Inside of those parentheses, you write the second function, negative 2a cubed plus 4. At that point, simplify in any way you can. So distribute the 3, you get negative 6a cubed plus 12 minus 4. And then the 12 and minus 4 combine, negative 6a cubed plus 8. Let's check number 6 and see if that's right. And there it is. All right, number 8, f of g of n. F of g of n. Write the first function down first, 3n minus 4. Instead of the variable, you put parentheses. Inside the parentheses, put the second function. Combine if you can. I'm going to distribute this 3, so that's 6n cubed minus 3 minus 4, or minus 3n minus 4, right? 3 times n is 3n. Combine like terms, but there are no like terms, so that should be the answer to number 8. And indeed it is. What else do we got going on here? Okay, this one is going to possibly be the somewhat trickier one. F of g of x. So write the first one first. So that's negative 2 parentheses squared plus 2 parentheses. So this one's tricky. There's 2 x's, right? Here and here. So we have to put on 2 sets of parentheses. Inside both of those parentheses, I'm going to write 4x. And then we need to simplify this. So this is negative 2, 4x times 4x plus 2 times 4x. Okay, maybe I'm showing work in a weird way here. Negative 2 times 4 times 4. That's negative 32. X times x is x squared. Plus 2 times 4x. 2 times 4 is 8x. So that one was a little more complicated, but the principle was the same. Write the first equation, or the first function down first, but use parentheses where the variables were. Plug the second function into those parentheses. Like check number 10, make sure I did it right. And yeah, that's the right answer. Now, number 9 for you is going to be kind of similar, but also kind of tricky. So I'm going to get number 9 started. I'm just a little worried that this might frustrate you without a little bit of guidance. So g of f of t. So g is first. I need to write this equation down, or this function down first. T squared minus 3t. But instead of t, I put parentheses. Take the t out, put parentheses in instead. Inside of those parentheses, that's where you write the other function. Negative 3t plus 3, negative 3t plus 3. From here, you need to do negative 3t plus 3, negative 3t plus 3, negative 3t plus 3. Now, I'm not going to work anything else out. I'm going to leave the rest of this up to you. But I will tell you, you're going to need to FOIL all this together, and you're going to need to distribute that in order to continue your work. All right, let me erase that so you have room to work. But this didn't come up in my example. I didn't have to FOIL, but you do. So I didn't want that to throw you for a loop or be too much of a surprise. I'll leave this here. When you go to do number 9, just understand that you need to do first, outside, inside, last. We've done that a lot, so you should be able to handle it. I just didn't want it to surprise you. All right, so I'll leave that there like that. You can finish number 9. Number 12. What's special about number 12? Well, there's a number there. So g of f of 5 means you're supposed to do g of f of 5. So how do we do this? Well, this is kind of an order of operations deal. Do the innermost set of parentheses first, f of 5. So we need to plug a 5 into the f function first. So that's negative 2 times 5 squared minus 2 times 5. That's negative 2 times 25 minus 10. That would be what? Negative 50 minus 10, which is negative 60. So f of 5 is negative 60. That means I need to do g of the answer I just got. So now I need to plug 60 into this function. So it's kind of like a two-step process. Plug the 5 into that function and get an answer, then plug that answer into that function. So that's 2 times negative 60 minus 2. That's negative 120 minus 2, negative 122. By the way, I don't know if you can hear this. My dog is asleep on my lap and she is snoring. If you can hear that through the microphone, I am sorry. Hopefully it's not picking it up. All right, let me check number 12, make sure I did it right. Yep, negative 122. Now, if you found that hard to follow, I went too fast, I was unclear, there's two more. This is the exact same process, so hopefully with repetition it'll work itself out. So it looks like hog, h of g. H of g of 3. H of g of negative 3. Do the inside part first. G of negative 3. That's right here. 2 times negative 3 plus 3 is negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Now take that answer and plug it in to the other function. By the way, it's sort of a coincidence that this works out to be negative 3 and the number we plugged in was negative 3. Anyway, we plug it into the other function, x minus 3, and you get negative 6. The answer, number 14, should be negative 6. And there it is. All right. One more just for good measure to make sure you follow, you understand, everything's good. So we need to do h of g of 0. We're going to plug 0 into g first. G of 0, that would be n plus 4. We'll make it 0 plus 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. Now take that answer and plug it into h, the next function. H of 4, that's right here. Negative n squared minus 5, we're going to plug in a 4. All right, 4 squared is 16, and bring down the negative sign in front of it, and the minus 5. Negative 16 minus 5 is negative 21. So the answer to number 16, if I ever get there, negative 21. Okay, please try the odds on your own. Again, this is function composition. It should be brand new to you. So being new, it might give you some troubles. Hopefully, when you look at my examples, it'll be clear enough that you understand it and you can work through it. But if you do reach any points of difficulty that you just can't get through on your own, send me an email. I'll set up a Google Meet, or I'll just try to answer your questions through email, or whatever needs to be done, we can do it. Otherwise, I will talk to you later.